Some of you know me. Some have taken our classes in other places. Thank you for saying hi. Uh, I am the founder of Rider Justice. It is my firm. I've been practicing motorcycle law now for over 25 years. It is my passion, it is part of my community. And as you guys all know, I mean, we're all a big community, whether you're riding Harleys or you're riding something else. It is a big part of what I do. I do a huge amount of philanthropic work. It is now 65% of all our cases in my firm are motorcycle cases. We do help with some other stuff. But this is the single most important thing that we do for the community, I think, hands down. And I really want to thank PK for coming all the way out here. And I want to thank, I think, what's your name? Did you organize it? Who organized it?
No, Sam did.
Sam? Sam. Where are you, Sam? Oh, he's run off. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for putting this together.
But Kim also had a lot to do with 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And sorry.
Yeah. And so I'm sorry that it's taken this long. We had to literally fly, our special guest, instructor out here to make it happen for you guys. And I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate Pikes Peak as well. We'd love to do more with you guys because it's really important. We have had graduates of these programs save their best friends' lives. Hands down, that is absolute truth. One, I was just telling PK earlier, was, and you guys may know this story, up sort of in the Grand Teton Valley, gets hit, and they save her life by using the tourniquet system. Unfortunately, she lost her leg. I just saw her last weekend at the Motorcycle Expo, but because her friend attended this class. And so it makes a real difference. I've unfortunately seen, as crazy as it is, seen and been on the scene of multiple motorcycle accidents over my career, just driving in the world. And like he said, there's one or two kinds of people. You run to it or you freeze. And I ran to him. And at that time, though, this is years ago, I didn't have all the shit in my car, which you should have in your car. You should have in your truck. You should have in your bikes. It should be everywhere. I own multiple packs of everything, and I've had to use them on myself while I hurt myself on a fishing expedition, and I blew out a flip-flop and tore up my foot and irrigated it out and had to do all the things, and because I had the stuff, right? And it's bleeding like a stuck pig and feel like an idiot, but, I had the stuff in my truck, and it was able to help. The other thing that I love about these events is I actually get to talk to people instead of a giant group. Sometimes I'm in front of hundreds of people trying to tell them about insurance. I don't sell insurance. I just sue the shit out of them every single day. And so I know what I like, and I know what I wish everybody had. And what I wish everybody had in this room is the maximum amount of underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage you can have. I have seen too much. I own motorcycles. I own cars. I've seen too much. My insurance is insane. I have $7 million worth of uninsured motorist coverage. Because any one of us hurts their head, we can't work anymore. We can break some shit. It's fine. I've broken collarbones. I've broken wrists and all that stuff doing dumb things. Still practice law. But as soon as we all hurt our brains, we're done. So you got to get as much as you can afford. I've got this brochure in the bag that I gave you. Down the back, it has my wish list. The basic coverage for underinsured motorist coverage with any policy is the minimum is $25,000. That is literally zero help in today's world. Zero. I signed up a case 2 Fridays ago. Amazing guy, 5 kids, hardworking guy, left-hand turn in front of, crushed this leg. He's lost his foot below the knee. He had zero underinsured motorist coverage on his 4 bikes. And the person who hit him only had 25. We've done a background check on the guy. He literally is 70 years old and has got nothing. And so the only way to protect yourself is by wearing the right helmet, gear, glasses, gloves, and insurance, period. End of story. I still may ruin the defendant just to ruin him, but it's not going to get this guy any money. He's fucked. And the only way you can unfuck it is by getting as much underinsured motorist coverage as possible. One of my favorite things to do in the whole world is I'm happy to look at your policies for free. You can call me. I can walk you through it online. You can send me screenshots. The number that's on here is a number that you can text stuff to me directly and say, hey, Scott, I heard you at the Hog Chapter Accident and Management class. Could you take a look at my policy? I am absolutely going to do it because it is the most important thing. And there is nothing worse than what I had to do in that hospital the other day where I'm trying to figure out how to tell these people that I'm not sure how it's going to work. I can get all the money in the world at trial against this guy, but he's got literally nothing. He lives in an apartment. There's nothing for me to take. And so it is important. And normally I'm all blue sky and I support all these groups and I do all this fun stuff. But in a class like this, we're talking about real stuff. So I'm going to tell you the real truth. And I think it's important. I think it's really important that, organizations like Biker Down exist to help families in these kind of situations, help them with rent, help them with different, figuring out how the whole system works. Because sometimes there isn't anything. Sometimes it's their fault. I can't help stupid. But sometimes, shit happens and it's just the way it is. But because of organizations like Biker Down, we get involved. There's Hog Chapter up north that I got involved with 7 years ago. And, I'm the only lawyer there. We passed the law to get phones out of people's hands. When you see it, call it out. Honk at people. And some people are going to be against or for lane filtering. We all have opinions on that, but I'm telling you right now, if you're in town here and you've got the opportunity at a stoplight to legally lane filter, do it. People are not fucking paying attention. I have 2 clients who got rear-ended this past month, should have lane filtered. Just go up to the front. It's your right. It's the law now. Do it legally. Do it safely. And if they had done it, they wouldn't have been rear-ended. That's what it's for. Whether you like the law or not, don't lane split. That's illegal. But lane filter and do that. Take care of yourself. Assume you're invisible. And these people are driving like rules don't fucking apply. So you got to just take care of yourself. Sorry, I'm a little wound up from this case that we just signed up, and I apologize. I get a little hot.
Talk to them about MedPay.
Oh, okay. So there's all sorts of really important insurance. I'll get to MedPay in a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Thank you for reminding me. So it goes in order. Everybody, please keep on your collision and comprehensive. I know you maybe own the bike. Like I have an old Honda. It's worth nothing, but I still keep it on because I don't want to lose $5,000 for no fun of it. If somebody steals it or if I wreck it or something or whatever. So always keep, and that's for all your vehicles. Keep that on because people are driving around. 1/3 to 2/3 are driving with no insurance, period. So if it's their fault, your collision and comprehensive at least take care of that. So you're not out of pocket the $5,000 on your car or your bike or whatever. The next is obviously liability insurance. To have 250 in UIM, you also have to have 250 in liability. That protects you and a rider on the back of your bike. Does not help with spouses. Liability does not help with spouses because otherwise spouses would be like, let's hit that tree so we can make some money. So that's why it's not on there. The next is MedPay. MedPay is offered mandatorily with all auto policies, but not with motorcycles for obvious reasons because they don't want to pay you, but you can get it. And so with my Progressive, I have 25,000 MedPay for my motorcycle. I only have 5 for my cars. And you can up it, and that's up to you, but at least do the 5. Medical payment coverage applies no matter what. If you happen to put your bike down in a parking lot and you get a pipe burn and you go to the hospital for it, it'll pay for that because it involved the bike. If you're in an actual real accident, it helps pay for ER bills, helps pay for those things first. I helped pass that law, God, a long time ago now. And the whole point of it was first responders were not getting paid by health insurance companies. And so, or by the auto insurance companies. And so we helped pass that law. So first responders, ERs, they got paid first from it. Use it. There's no fault to it. You should take advantage of it for sure. Thanks for asking that. Any questions or anything? You got a lawyer in front of you for free. Yeah.
Liability doesn't cover spouses.
It does not cover spouses. It does cover UIM if it's somebody else's fault, you and your spouse. 250, 500 is the coverage. So your total coverage for you and your spouse would be 500. No one person getting more than 250. An underinsured motorist. Yep. That's how it works.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you gentlemen are single here, but what happens if they meet a gal and they put them on their bike and they have only full coverage? Will that cover the passenger?
If it's your fault, yes, in liability. Liability insurance is considered full coverage in Colorado is, depending if you have a loan, it's basically $25,000 policy limit for liability only. That's full coverage. It's up to you if you want. If you get a loan, they make you get collision comprehensive, and then everything else is up to you. My bike with Progressive, I've got all the things I just told you, 250. I've got it fully collision and comprehensive. I got MedPay plus the full UIM, and it costs me a total of $178 a year. Now, it's an old bike. It's 72. I love old things. But that hardly costs anything. And so to bump it up from that initial policy, to go from the basic minimum I can get on the road and ride to the higher numbers is really, sometimes it's like a few beers with your buddy kind of money. We're not talking about thousands of dollars, especially for motorcycles. It's just maybe a night out with your girlfriend or your wife or your spouse. So it's not that big a bump.
Okay, my next question is if you have uninsured motorist on your car,
yeah,
and you were to get it also on your bike, let's say 250,000 each.
Yeah.
Is that stackable or
yeah?
So
what she's asking is, do some policies cross over, and can you stack them on top of each other? The answer is depends on your policies and what they exclude. In general, in Colorado, you can stack. Some will exclude it. So that is how I have $7 million worth of coverage for all my autos and motorcycles. Is I've got the underlying with USAA and Progressive. I pay separate premiums for each one of my vehicles because I have two sons, and you're good boys, but you're still idiots. And so I got to have good coverage. And I pay separate premiums for all of them. And then I have an umbrella policy on top of all of these, your homeowner's insurance. That umbrella, you specifically have to tell the umbrella underinsured motorist. It comes automatically with liability for your autos and motorcycles, but it does not come automatic with underinsured motorist. So that's $5 million. And so I stack them all on top of each other for a total of $7 million. It's kind of basically how I was able to get to that number. Most homeowners policies start at $1 million, and there's not a single motorcycle case, well, maybe 2 or 3 over the years, where I couldn't have used that extra 1.25, extra 1.5, extra 7, because of stuff happens, and usually it doesn't end well.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
So if you ride to your spouse,
yeah.
How do you cover it? Is it like a rider?
No. It's liability doesn't cover. So what it's not covering you for is if you're riding down the road and you high-sided and Evel Knievel it, your motorcycle coverage isn't going to cover her for your negligence for liability insurance. If somebody else hits you and it's their fault, your underinsured motorist coverage will cover both of you. So it's just not covering you for your liability because they don't want spouses to sue each other. There's immunity there, basically. Does that answer the question or not?
Yeah, but I mean, so I'll have some extra medical coverage for me, but she's going to need.
Well, if you have MedPay with it, it'll cover her too on the bike. If you have medical payment coverage, health insurance should pay all of it. Medicare, Medicaid, all your Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, whatever insurance you have, also then should cover all of it all the time, every single time. If you, God forbid, know somebody, whether it's a car accident or motorcycle accident, and they're hurt and they need to go to the hospital, health insurance. These hospitals don't want to use the health insurance first. They're trying to figure out a way to get more money from an auto policy or a motorcycle policy, and that is against the law, and fuck them. I don't know why they're teaching it. Well, I know why they're teaching it. instead of getting 60 cents on the dollar or 40 cents on the dollar from the health insurance company at the agreed upon rates, they want to try to get a higher amount from some lawsuit or something else. That is illegal, and you need to tell them that.
So when you have an
yeah.
accident and you go in and they ask for your bike insurance, what do you tell them?
Unless you have MedPay, you say, here is my health insurance card with Humana.
So,
End of story. Yeah.
so when I have an accident, like I did,
Oh, sorry.
I go to the ER
Yeah.
and I'm TRICARE Prime because I'm retired military.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And TRICARE sends me a letter saying, was this pertain to an accident?
Yeah.
Is that legal for them to ask?
That is legal. That is what they're trying to figure out. Health insurance companies have a right, whether it's a federal plan, like TRICARE, or Medicare or Medicaid or Humana or whoever. They all have what's called the right to subrogation, and that is the right to get money paid back that they spent to get you better. But if you choose not to bring a case, they don't have any right to get money from you that they spent. It's only if you get money from a third party.